So this review is going to be a little bit different, and I just want to say the one thing that I can say for certain is that the typing experience on the low profile version of the Kick75 is up to par with NuPhy standards, if not the best that they've had so far. That being said, there are a lot of quirks and strange things going on that we need to address. Hey everyone, it's Tristan from Crafting Worlds, and today we're going to be talking about the Kick75 by NuPhy, or NuPhy. I still haven't confirmed that with them. Look, I'm just going to be straight, honest, and to the point on this board. It's advertised as a conversion board, meaning that you can have a low profile board and a normal profile board that accept both low profile and normal profile switches. How do I put this? It sets out to solve a problem that doesn't exist, because the way that the problem is solved doesn't really solve the actual problem. So what is the problem? The problem is that a lot of people want to be able to have their normal profile keyboard, you know, at home and in the nice big normal profile. That's as simple as I can say it. And then when they go out or to the coffee shop or they're using their laptop and they want to put their keyboard on top of it, it can be a low profile keyboard, lighter, smaller, and easy to travel with. The problem that it looked like NuPhy was trying to solve was to take a low profile keyboard and allow you to quick swap to a normal profile. So let's say I'm going out for coffee. I can take my normal profile and quick swap it to low profile, and it's light. I put it in my bag and then I get back home and I quick swap it to normal. That's not exactly how this is working. What we get instead is a conversion kit that allows you to literally take apart the entire board, screws, stabilizers, the different foams that are in between, and it gets really complicated. For those that are not really used to this kind of thing, I don't see a lot of people using this. It's more of a gimmick than it is a useful function. That being said, the individual boards, or at least the one that I got to try, because I don't have the normal version, I only have the low profile version. And at first they actually didn't even send me the conversion kit. So I was so confused. I was like, what is the point of this? What I would say, and what I think a lot of people are going to not really focus on, because they're going to be more focused on, oh, look, you can convert. And it's like, it takes a good hour to convert by pulling the keycaps off, pulling the switches out, disassembling the board, and then reassembling the board. And I'm not even talking about like little tiny reassembling. I'm talking about pulling out all the cables and the power and the wires. And there's so many places where you can fail this. It's unbelievable. And so it'll take about an hour to go from low profile to normal and then normal back to low. So unless you have an hour it just doesn't, right? It doesn't quite add up why you would do that. So what I think we should focus on is we should focus on the integrity of the boards themselves and how they are individually. Because if it were me and I really liked these boards, there's three things I would look at for these boards. They're aesthetically unique. You're going for this aesthetic that's like retro and Mario Brothers, and it has a really cool look to it. It almost looks like a Game Boy, right? And then you have your new switches, and NuPhy switches are always quite interesting. They have nice sound profile. They have a nice thock to them. They have a good feel. They have your linear, your tactile, and your clickies. And so it's, oh, and silence as well. And so that alone makes each board individually very unique. And so I think we should look at it like that. If you wanted one of these boards, you get the one that you want, the low profile or the normal profile. If you want to go back and forth between a normal profile and low profile, then get the low profile and the normal profile. Just skip the conversion board, because the amount of time that it's going to take you to do all of that, I think you're going to end up not doing it. And you're going to be like, wow, why did I buy this conversion kit? But let's take a look at the conversion kit, because I want you to understand why I think this is so complicated. A screwdriver, a different knob, and it comes with the top part here. So it's a thicker top for the normal profile. The different, you know, internals, and it's gonna take work to put it together, and it's not super straightforward for someone that is you know, not a super hardcore enthusiast. So most people are going to look at this and they're going to open up this instruction manual and they're going to be like, oh, okay, so take the keycaps off, then take the switches out, and then take the back off, and then wait, hold on, then unscrew it, and then take the knob off, and then wait, take the top off, and hold on, this is getting complicated now. Oh, wow, okay. Pull out the connectors, the power connectors, the light connectors, there are so many things that can go wrong here. I cannot tell you. Like, if you are not into building and modifying keyboards, this is going to be a nightmare for you. And then it shows, you know, what pieces need to go in and in what order. So it's not simple. And then it gets even more complicated, because you got to start taking the stabilizers out. And if anybody's ever worked with stabilizers, they're not fun. These are click-ins, thank God, and you don't have to unscrew them. But man, this is asking a lot from the end user. It really is. And so I just feel like with all of this, you know, finally, okay, you've plugged it all back in, and it's now a normal profile. And then you put all the little plastic pieces back in, you screw everything in, you put your new normal profile switches in, and then you put your new normal profile keycaps on, and bada bing, bada boom, it's done. But if you think that this is quick or fast, it's crazy. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So yeah, so that's the conversion kit. And I just think it's over the top. It's just not something I would ever really push on someone, nor would I really want to do it myself. And so I haven't, to be honest. I have no reason to do it, because I don't see why I would want to put my own switches and my own keycaps into a board that is supposed to look very unique. Okay, so this is the website that's up currently for the pre-order, and I have some problems. So here's, you know, you have your low profile version, or your, you know, normal profile. They call it high, but it's just a normal profile. They have really nice switches. It matches. It has that NuPhy look, and it also has that retro vibe. I mean, you turn it over and it's got like Mario Brothers on the back. It's actually quite lovely looking. It's really fun. I mean, you'll never see this because the keyboard stays on your desk, but it's fun nonetheless. It's got accents on, you know, the right-hand side, things that, so here, let me show you. So it's got little pieces that can disconnect. So you can pull out this 75 thing. It's magnetic, and you can put it back in, and then you can take this off, this like red piece. You can pull out the dongle holder, and you can, you know, change the color of these little green accents. All of this is open source, meaning that you, if you have a 3D printer, can customize all these little bits, including the knob and all that stuff. How important that is, I don't know. And then the question, you know, becomes, why would you ever really replace anything on this? Because all you can see is this and the knob, and it already looks cool. It's already that like retro aesthetic, right? The back is really fun. It's got that like Mario Brothers theme on the back, and then it's got nice lockable. It's got these really nice lockable feet. And when you put it on the board, on the desk, it doesn't slide, and it's got nice RGB. Now, another thing that's super weird to me. So that's $10 more if you want the normal profile. And then you pick your firmware. So if you want QMK and VIA, ready for this? Watch this price. What? $20 to add VIA support versus using the NuPhy IO? Which, by the way, I can't connect to the NuPhy IO. I tried, and I can't. It won't let me. It doesn't show up. Just doesn't show up. So I'm like, what's going on here? But this really burns me. Why are you paying for open source? Like, why are you paying extra for that? I don't get it. You can pick your red or brown or silver or blush switches. Red is just linear. Brown is tactile, which the tactile is very light in this, so you don't even feel it hardly. And then you have the sliver, which I'm assuming is a typo, and it's supposed to be silver. And then blush, which is silent. Now you can also pick a wrist rest. Let's talk about this for a second. So the wrist rest is right here, okay? And so the gimmick here is that it's magnetic, and so it will tighten up with this little plate for the normal keycaps, and then for the low profile, it will be this height, and it's got little feeties on there. It's magnetic, and it has like a really nice plushness to it, which is actually really cool. 2 issues. When it came out of the box, this thing smelled horrifying. It still has a chemical smell to it. I brought this up to NuPhy, and hopefully they'll look at it. But maybe they need to air it out in the manufacturers. I don't know what needs to happen, but it has a highly chemical smell. The other thing is that this little opening here feels weird when you're typing. So like normally, you have a nice, slope, and it is normal, it's the same throughout. But with this like inner gap, you actually will feel your wrist sliding off of that, and that's unfortunate. Also, it's not sloped. It's a little sloped, but it's not sloped enough where you like actually feel it. When you're using it in normal profile, it does have wiggle, and you will feel that on your wrist when you're pushing up against it. It's very soft. And so while this is really nice and plushy, because this is kind of cut out of this, you bottom out on this quite easily. So you can feel the hard edges and the hard bottom of this. It's a really squishy material, but it needed to be thicker, I think, because it bottoms out so fast. This kind of ruins the design. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this. So you can add an aluminum plate or a palm plate. You can add shine through keycaps. By the way, this is going to bring the price up. You can add extra keycaps, and there's just different like adorable styles. Actually, some of these are really cute. So NuPhy has fun stuff. They're actually not that bad for the price of those. And then here's the swappable kits, and it just doesn't make sense to me. And I showed you why. And then you can add a desk mat. When you look at their their buy now Kickstarter-ish page, right? Like they're talking about this hybrid design, but the hybrid design is so much more trouble than it's worth. It's more worth it to just get one of each keyboard if you like the way that this looks. There's no world in which, in my opinion, you buy this board because you don't like the way it looks, right? Like you buy this board because you go, wow, that looks cool. I like the way that looks. So you want to stick with that aesthetic. And later on, if you want to change your keycaps and stuff like that, sure. But do you want to also change it from low profile to normal profile? And does it matter? Right? Like, wouldn't you just buy the normal and the low profile if you wanted both, or just buy the low profile or the normal profile if you wanted one? I just don't see the problem that it solves because of all the things that I've mentioned so far. So to me, if you're looking at this board, I would focus on the fact that that is a very unique looking board and very fun and playful, and you want it as is. And so you decide, I want the low profile or I want the normal profile, and you buy that, and you just completely ignore the very complicated converter kit. Like it's just not worth it. Also, I don't have any access to NuPhy.io or VIA on this right now. The RGB looks really nice. Hold on, let's take a look here. Look. So, I mean, the RGB itself, like it's very bright and colorful and lovely, but I can't modify it because I don't have access to VIA or the NuPhy.io. So I don't know what to do with this. I I can't recommend it right now as is because I just don't know what it's for. And so that's my problem. Like you have this thing where it's like, hey, check out all these, Lego colors and retro Odyssey 8-bit inspired stuffs and, but we don't have access to the IO yet, so I can't tell you what that is. And then this is everything that has to happen in order for you to change. Like you have to pull out the screws, you have to pull out the keycaps, you have to pull out the switches, you have to pull out the foams, you have to pull out the it's a lot, okay? That being said, NuPhy does make good keyboards in terms of the typing feel. And so they have added these new nano switches and, the new max switches for their high profile, for their normal profile. And it does sound and feel very good to type on. I can't speak for the normal size because I don't have it. You can modify what some of the buttons do so you can use them in your programs. That's very cool. I just don't know yet because I'm unable to use NuPhy IO because it's not available yet. So unfortunately, they released this to us and they told us to take a look at it, and we can't look at everything. You can connect to 4 different devices at once, like most NuPhy boards. And yeah, these are the different switches. I'll play these for you so you get an idea. So as you can see, most of the low profiles are very muted and they sound really nice. Now here's the normal profiles. So the fact that they have a silent option is really nice. It has really good, it has really good battery power. And yeah, for gaming thing, the 1000 hertz, I can't test it right now. So, I mean, it feels good. I haven't had any problems with it, but yeah, I just don't know. The reason it sounds so good, by the way, is look at all the stuff they put in there. It's insane. Like, wow, they packed a lot in there. It's really impressive, actually. Okay, this personalized experience, never more fun. So to make things even more fun, we're open sourcing the decorative mounts, holes on the Kicks case. You can download our design files and 3D print your own accessories, or go wild with your imagination, create something truly unique. I just don't get it. Look, I'm not trying to say that this doesn't sound good and it doesn't type well, and because it does. It's just like any NuPhy product I've ever used, and I really enjoy typing on it. I like the feel of their keycaps. I love the aesthetic. I think it looks great. But I have to come at this from a practical approach, and I have to look at this from, okay, you all are about to buy a product. Does it work? And I unfortunately can't tell you that because the IO is not working. The VIA support is not working. The fact that you have to pay extra for VIA support is really weird. Across the websites, they all say different things, like a little weird. So like this says linear, this is linear. They're all linear apparently. When we go to the actual purchase site, this is tactile, this is tactile. Well, that doesn't look tactile to me. This looks linear and this looks linear. So like, I don't know what's happening with the switches. I don't know what kinds they are. I do know that the brown is tactile because I can feel the bump a little bit, but it's a very soft bump. You're not going to feel it like it's not super tactile, but I don't have a problem with that. I actually enjoy that. I just can't tell from these diagrams which is which. So that's confusing. The kitschy things, right? Like the conversion kit, just don't make sense. It's not solving a problem, it's causing a problem. If they had made it work a little differently and fast, maybe it would solve a problem. The fact that like the accessory here came smelling horrifying, yeah, it just doesn't fit perfectly, so you can feel the wobble. So there's like little things about it. And then, you know, the whole idea of modifying your board, you see this much. So technically you can modify this, and that's really it. Because you're not going to be looking at the back of your board. You're not going to be looking at the bottom of your board. And the likelihood that you look at the side, I don't know. Maybe you'll look at the side. I mean, there's good things. Like it has a little rubber stopper to put your dongle in. You have your, Windows and Mac key. You have your off switch, your wired switch, and your wireless switch, which is nice. I can't tell you if the RGB is nice. I can't tell you if it's per key. I can't tell you a lot of things. And unfortunately, NuPhy is not the easiest to communicate with. And it's unfortunate because I did send them an email before I made this. And I said, hey, can you send me out like the normal profile too? So that I could give, my feelings on what both boards feel like, because I know what my switches and my keycaps feel like, right? I know what they sound like and how they feel, but do I want to put them in this board? Not really. And I'll tell you why. I want this board to look like it is. I want it to be what it is. I want it to be that clear Game Boy retro feel. I want it to have that vibe. I want it to have NuPhy's flavor. I don't want to buy it and then have to convert it and then put more keycaps into it and pay more money and all this stuff. And it gets expensive at that point. So it's like, I want to use it as intended. So with that in mind, as of right now, I can't recommend this. Will I follow up on this? Maybe. But what I can tell you is that if you want this board, look at it as an individual item, as a single board, a low profile or a normal profile. Just get rid of the conversion kit. Don't even think about it. Just push it out of your mind. Seriously. Because I feel as though if you focus on one or the other, you'll be happy with your purchase, assuming that the software works properly. Knowing NuPhy, it probably will. I just don't know, and I can't tell you that right now. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's been a pretty lackluster experience. The typing experience is good. The visuals are nice. Like I said, it's a unique looking retro keyboard, but because a lot of the things don't line up and aren't working, I have trouble doing a full review for this. So this is my potentially, maybe I'll do a follow-up and a short and tell you guys how it's all working later on. But as of right now, I don't know if I would pre-order this. It just doesn't seem ready. Anyway, as always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. If you hated it, dislike twice. And yeah, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. And please leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think. Is it ready for production? Do you think we should wait more? Would you like to see a follow-up? What would you like to see about this? What attracts you to this board? I'm actually truly curious. So look forward to your comments in the comment section and have a wonderful day.